Greetings, all my dreamers and dreamettes. It's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe right now. Also, if you want to support the brand, it's inspiredbydreams.shop. We got everything. It's preppy streetwear, hoodies, hats, snapbacks, a little bit of everything for you to dress outside of the box. Okay, today's topic is very deep, and it's something that we have to get past in the black community, in the black culture, and it's something that these conversations that I'm bringing to you guys, these are the conversations that can heal us all and see different perspectives from different people that just have different understandings of how life is and just how people can look at somebody and automatically judge them or just have like a sense of a different energy from just their complexion. So today we're talking about colorism in the black community, and it's this whole dark skin, light skin. Some people say it doesn't exist at all, and some people say it definitely exists. Why don't you just open your eyes? And from my research, to be honest with you guys, it really does. And especially in the hip hop community, there is a dark skin and light skin complexity. There's like a tug of war between the two, and also in the black community. So what I did was I put everything all together so we can just jump into this conversation, see what you guys think. Have you experienced it? Have you had friends that been through this? You guys let me know. But the overall, what I'm really trying to say is we're all human beings, and we have to love each other and understand that equality comes from how we treat each other. No matter what rules are put upon us, if we can treat each other with respect and love each other, then the rules that surround us wouldn't even matter. So let's jump right into it. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. And I love you guys. Let's get it. We got a long week.
So I want to talk about colorism, specifically pertaining to the rap group City Girls. So for those that don't know, City Girls is a US-based rap group. They became very popular over the years, even reached mainstream success and had numerous hits. However, I noticed that there's a lot of colorism that takes place within this rap group. Carisha is the light-skinned member of the group, and she gets a lot more attention and media coverage, and honestly a lot of positive media coverage, especially when they're promoting her career or uplifting her status. I mean, even her toxic relationship somehow gets glorified in the media. However, every time I see JT in the media, it's always a story about an altercation that she was in, like when she had to snatch her phone from a fan, or some beef that she's in with other rappers, or her being compared to her light-skinned counterpart, Carisha. And oftentimes JT will have to respond and defend herself because she is being painted as the aggressor or the problematic girl, which is what they do to a lot of dark-skinned women in the media. And I almost never see them demonize Carisha. Even JT's relationship with Uzi often gets criticized because people believe that Uzi may be gay based on his fashion sense, which is completely bogus. And even though Uzi does treat her right, for some reason they do get a lot of criticisms. They're more criticized than Carisha and Diddy, even though this couple is literally toxic and the whole embodiment of what black women should not be doing with men. Now I'm gonna tell you my opinion. And now keep in mind, this is my opinion, okay? I'm not gonna argue with you about my opinion. We can all agree that Carisha can't rap. We can all agree Carisha is mainly known for her personality and being pretty. And we all know in female rap, it doesn't take much besides being a light-skinned girl with a fat ass to be a successful female rapper. So now that we established that Carisha has light-skin privilege, let's move on to JT. JT is beautiful and talented. However, she is a dark-skinned woman, and we all know in the industry that's not enough. And I think that JT reached this mainstream success very quickly because Carisha's light-skin privilege opened up a lot of doors for them, and JT's talent kept them in the room. And this is not to say that JT doesn't deserve what she has or she's not talented enough. But let's look at all the dark-skinned female solo artists right now. Flo Milli, Baby Tate, Amaretta, Tink. All those rappers are equally as talented or more talented than City Girls, yet it's gonna take them a lot more time and work to reach the same success that they did. And I think if JT was a solo artist, it would have taken her a lot more time and work to reach where she is now. Again, this is just my opinion based on what I've seen in the industry, specifically with dark-skinned women. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Love y'all.
Yeah. You know, Drake is light skinned, so he most likely doesn't go through the same struggles that Kendrick goes through being a dark skinned man.
I don't think that's true though. I mean, I get that, but I don't think that's true because like my sister and my brother, God rest his soul, were way lighter than me, like closer to clear. And they had their own, no for real, they had their own struggle that like, I was darker growing up. So, you know, the things that they would come home and cry about being light skinned, growing up in a black or darker neighborhood, like no, they got ate up at school every single day. So I mean, there's a whole nother struggle. Being black is a struggle in itself, light or dark. Even though collectively within the community, yeah, we pit our, you know, each other against each other, but no, it's
I'm gonna tell you how you can tell if one of your homegirls is or was a colorist. Red flag number one, if you have a light-skinned homegirl who has a visceral reaction or if she's visibly upset when a man gives you attention over her, she's probably colorist. Red flag number two, if your homegirl makes her skin tone her entire identity. These are the women Redbone Barbies on Instagram, Yellowbone the doll, probably a colorist. And this red flag is more so passed down through generations. I guess it's more like an insider. When we're young, we're taught to avoid the sun at all costs. So if you have a light-skinned homegirl who does the most to avoid the sun, it likely could be internalized colorism, but I'm not gonna jump out on a limb on that one. And this is the last red flag, but I think this one honestly is the most significant. If your homegirl, every time she gives you a compliment, she always has to reference your skin tone, calling you chocolate, calling you a dark-skinned baddie. Say it with me, probably. Moment of vulnerability for me. On my mom's side of the family, we're all beige, fluorescent beige. Shout out to T.S. Madison. And I've heard colorist things in my own family and I always check it. And even previous friend groups that really were giving like the brown paper bag test, they'd be so surprised that I don't go along with the anti-blackness and I don't ascribe to their bullshit.
Don't cut on my neck for saying.
Okay, before we get into this, for my entire life, I always consider myself brown skin. I never consider myself light skin. And now I don't know if you guys might notice that, but you have to remember there's lighting over here. There's like a light here that shines on me. So I'm guessing that lightens up my skin a little bit. But in reality, I always consider myself brown skin, but I never really had like a tug of war between my complexion. But I know that it does exist. All right, let's get back to it.
Saying this, but I feel like I'm not considered light skinned because I don't have the light skin curly pretty hair. I have 4C hair. I'm pretty. I'm definitely light, but I don't feel like people on the streets would be like, oh, she's light skinned. I don't know.
There's a video on TikTok of a light-skinned girl saying that she doesn't think that she's recognized by people as being light-skinned because she has certain other features like kinkier hair. And it reminded me of a old black southern expression called all that yellow gone to waste. And all that yellow gone to waste is meant to describe a lighter skinned black person that would typically reap all the benefits of colorism, but instead also encounter featureism and texturism. Because while they are light skinned, they also have features that are typically black or Negro, such as a bigger nose or wider lips or kinkier hair. And so all that yellow gone to waste simply just describes the intersections of lighter skin blackness, featureism, and texturism. It's just a really interesting conversation because you shouldn't want to aspire to get the benefits of colorism. I'm not saying that that's what this TikToker is doing, but on the same end, it's also this recognition that there are even layers to the colorism that people seemingly benefit from or don't benefit from simply because of having other features.
In the community that I grew up in, colorism was a big thing, right? So the lighter you are, the better, or the lighter you are, the more beautiful. And I always remember thinking to myself, and this was innate in me, I just remember thinking, I don't know what they're talking about because I'm beautiful. Even though I'm dark and, you know, people around me are saying that, oh, you're dark, You know, I used to get picked on, called names like Blackie, or Tar Baby. And I mean, it's not fun. It's to me now, it's funny. But then, I mean, it wasn't funny, right? I kind of like would roll my eyes at them when they said it. I should have been more like...
Now, as a darker skinned girl, I never loved my color of my skin until I was probably maybe 17, 18.
Wow.
Really, to be honest. Because it was like the lighter skin, caramel skins, females would get more attention. That's just what it was. Every black boy wanted a light skin girl. So already... they created a competition between us from the jump. You're black, you're blick. That's what it was. The dark-skinned girls weren't pretty. I still get comments now as a grown woman. You're pretty for a black girl.
Really?
Yeah, grown men. Yeah. So we're taking it way back there. So already we've got that competition already installed in us from the jump off. Yeah. So we've got that, and then it manifests into adulthood. It's the same thing. It's exactly the same thing. We've still got that now. It might not be so obvious, but trust me, there's underlaying issues there. Yeah, there's an undertone of it that exists. Obviously, I think with the communication thing, I don't know if it's a culture thing. I don't know what it is. For me personally, I would say that even with siblings, it still feels like a competition thing. It still feels like you're being competitive with your sisters. As a baby sibling myself, techie with my older siblings.
We often talk about colorism as far as it comes to men having a preference for lighter skinned women, and which is a thing. Women have to acknowledge that they also participate in colorism just as much as black men do. And I could tell you that because when I talk to women, when they describe their type of man, first thing they say he got to be tall and dark skinned. And they often look at lighter skinned men as being more feminine, being soft. Y'all know what the ideal man is when it comes to a black man. He got to be dark skinned. Some women don't even consider light skinned men as a masculine man. We can't be sitting here having a double standard that black women don't participate in colorism as well. Y'all can't stay here. None of y'all homegirls never say you gotta be dark skinned with a nice smile and tall.
Of course.
Okay?
I feel like I used to be like that. I can admit I'm not like that anymore. But younger, like teenager, like, I want somebody that's dark skinned. Like he have to be dark skinned. If he light skinned, I do not want to talk to him.
Because you associated masculinity with being dark skinned.
Yeah, what was your reason for it?
I talked to you about this before.
You associate masculinity with dark skin.
Also, whatever happened to being brown skin? Like, that is a thing. Black people come in all different shades. Literally, what is wrong with being brown skin? Why is it now this thing of, oh, either you're light skin or you're dark skin? Because I don't think y'all understand how much that is contributing to the erasure, however, of actual dark skin, dark skin people. Like, why are y'all calling Megan Thee Stallion dark skin? Why does Summer Walker think that she's dark skin? Like, yeah, you're darker, but not dark enough to pull colorism. You know good and well colorism is not your problem. You know it's not. You literally know it's not. When I talk about dark-skinned artists, I'm not talking about SZA. SZA is brown. Damn near got a golden undertone. Like, she's brown. I'm not talking about Megan Thee Stallion when I talk about dark skin. Megan Thee Stallion's not fucking dark skin. I'm talking about Normani. I am talking about No Name. I am talking about Flo Milli. I am talking about Amaretta. That is dark skin. And yes, there's a spectrum, but it's like I just really hate that card like be getting pulled like, oh, it's because you dark. Because I'm like, what do y'all think that people who have even deeper shades than that go through? Because once the wintertime hits, those people are light skinned. What do y'all feel about the people who are dark skinned literally all the time?
Okay, as a dark skinned black woman, I know that I am not the...
To my fellow dark skinned women, stop going to your light skinned friends and trying to get them to understand colorism or venting to them, expressing how you feel, being a dark-skinned person and having to navigate in society, because 50% of them are just gonna say that we all black and gaslight, and then the other 50% just don't care and they enjoy light skin privilege. So find a safe space to unpack a lot of the issues that we face with colorism. It's not something that's made up in our head that we're sensitive. These are things that are actually documented through peer-reviewed research, and it's a global issue. So, as much as you can, your light-skinned friends are just not going to understand. And find other dark-skinned women who...
People will be over there talking about light skin versus dark skin and light skin this and dark skin that. I just be quiet. Because when I get on Snapchat, I try to find the filters that make me look darker as a light skinned woman. So, I don't have no bark in this fight because, baby, tan me, honey.
Okay, I put it like this. For my entire life, I always consider myself brown skinned. I've never really thought of myself as a light-skinned person, but I know the dynamic between light skin and dark skin does exist, and I do see people treat, as far as from male perspective, looking at the females. To be honest with you guys and honest with myself, if we did like a survey where we had two couples and we had two dark-skinned couples and two light-skinned couples, and you said which of these couples you think would last longer in relationship, most likely in the black community they would pick the darker skinned couple. But when we have to always look at it like God made this outfit for us, and no matter what complexion we are, who we are inside is what really counts, not the outside. And when people judge other people just from the outside, they're in the wrong anyway. So I wouldn't even look at just because somebody looks at you. You have to know who you are, that know that you're beautiful, and know these things for yourself before anybody can tell you about who you are. And the dynamic between light skin and dark skin, it is a thing I see a lot of movies, even in entertainment. You know, it's been a lot more like a lot of people like going towards the lighter skinned girl for videos and things like that. And here and there you'll see like a dark skinned girl, but it's not like as in your face as the light skinned girl. I've seen a lot of these things just growing up, and I just want to let people know that not every man and every male looks at it like that. You have to know, when you're loving somebody or you want looking for love, it's not about the skin complexion. It's all about who that person is. I was always been the type where I always liked, I ended up with a brown skin or a dark skin girl, but it's not to say that I don't like light skinned girls. It's just to say that that was maybe my preference or what was in front of me that sparked my interest. But to be honest with you guys, man, you know, we have to start looking a little past the perception, and then start really digging into who these people are as a person, and you'll find a better match instead of just judging people on their complexion. We got to get really past that in the black community as well as in the world of itself. So you guys let me know if you have been through any of these colorism issues, or if you just grew up in a place or went to a school where you were like the only one that your complexion, it doesn't necessarily have to be black. Maybe it can be your culture and you're the only one from that culture. Maybe you're Chinese and you went to a black school. Let me know down below, you know, just the dynamic that you had to deal with, and we can always talk on it and chop it up on my morning show at 9 a.m. Love you guys, and I really appreciate all my new subscribers for subscribing and supporting, you know, in these YouTube streets. We all we got, I should say. Love you guys, and until next time, it's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe.